Okay, good. So last time we nearly began talking about this next short story by Anton Chekhov, as I said, The Lottery Ticket. Really, this is an amazing short story. It's very short. Well, not very, maybe short enough. And really, it's quite interesting and appealing to, I think, to all of us, because really it's interesting. Again, it's similar to some extent, similar to what we have seen in Hemingway's story, Cat in the Rain. To some extent, it's talking about the marital relationship, about the social relationship, mainly here between, a married family or married man and his wife. Again, it's the same thing, that again, to think about the role of money, the role of materialism, the role of, economy, and how this, family was crazy about money. And because remember, it's what's called here the lottery ticket. It's somebody who, when you buy a lottery ticket because you think you will win, for example, 50,000 riyals and so on, something like that. It's about winning. It's about winning money which you did not earn yourself. It's something, out of luck. And it's this kind of thing is fashionable nearly in many places in the world, really, in most societies. Maybe here in the Gulf area, you don't have this, as maybe many people think this is really haram, because yes, you get the money of other people. When you think about it, really, it's something like that, because it's really true in a sense, because you get the money that everybody else had paid, thinking that they will win. And of course, the organizers of this lottery, they are the ones who really get the most money, if you like, or nearly 70% or 80% of the money goes for them, and that's why in our Islamic culture, really, we think this is really not nice, and it's illegal money for some reason. I don't know. Some people think this, but really it's found in many places. I mean, you have it in Syria, Jordan, Iraq, Egypt, and I think in many other places in Western cultures, in many countries they do this. But I don't know. I mean, this is a question that maybe you don't have it here in this country. Anyway, the idea again is the next main thing in this story really is what we call here daydreaming. Daydreaming, how you dream about things when you are awake. Sometimes, I think this happens sometimes when you dream. I'm sorry again. Yeah, somebody said الدكتور مسكر الكاميرا. لا, sorry. Yes, I have not yet started sharing. Fayyad, don't worry. I have not yet started reading the story. I'm still talking to you like that. I don't know. Okay, now you can see me. Okay. Yeah. So really, the story is about this question of this psychological day hallucination, if you like. Really, it's near hallucination. It's near really psychological sort of, sickness to some extent. People sometimes, when they are crazy about this idea of lottery and buying lottery every week, in Syria we have it every week, and people are really mad about it sometimes. Then they spend a lot of money buying, like in Britain they do this on betting, betting on football, and they bet on horse races, and in all these races they do bet. And betting is, again, we say, I think again, betting is haram in many ways, because again, it's something that you want to see who's going to win or not, and so on. You know, this is something people sometimes, you know, are funny about it. But anyway, the idea I'm saying that this story is about this, is about daydreaming. And really the story says it's good to dream. It's good to dream. It's okay to dream, but not to allow your dreams to control you. Really. Ya Basmala. Hello.
Hello.
Do you remember who was dreaming in the necklace? In the necklace.
The
Who
woman.
was? Yeah, the woman.
The wife.
Yes. Yeah, the wife. Thank you, Almaha. And yeah, the wife. Yes, she was dreaming all the time and thinking, and not in her sleep, not in, you know, normally when we dream when we are sleeping, but when you are, you know, like in the middle of the day and looking outside and dreaming, it's really like something, you know, like swimming in your own imagination. And sometimes if you spend time and time thinking and overthinking, you will get really sick. You will get sick. So really here, you know, this terrible woman, Matilda, she was always thinking that she's the most beautiful woman on earth. And she should be, and she should be, and she should be. And look what happened to her. You know, it's here the same, it's here similar thing. The daydreaming situation really is clear in this story. And I will read it with you today, and I will show you what I mean by all this carry on. Now, yeah, where is it? Right. Look at it. Ivan Dimitrich, a middle class who lived with his family on an income of 1,200 a year and was very well satisfied with his lot, sat down on the sofa after supper and began reading the newspaper. I forgot to look at the newspaper today, his wife said to him as she cleared the table. Look and see whether the list of drawing is there. Now, this sentence really tells us something. Suppose those of you who asked me, how do we comment? Suppose I give you the first two lines here. Normally in a passage in the exam, I will give you more than 2 lines. I will give you a passage which is really meaningful. But suppose I say this, for example, or later on I will say that. So immediately you'll say, well, this is a passage taken from the short story by Anton Chekhov. The title of the story is Lottery Ticket, full stop. In this quotation, we see the narrator speaking here, and the narrator here is a third-person narrator, because he is, talking about other people in the distant, if you like, or in the absent voice, when he said a middle-class man who lived. So here he's telling us information about the other, or about this man, Ivan Dimitrich. So immediately we say, well, this is a short story narrated by a third-person narrator. And if you want to elaborate, you can say, well, a third-person narrator who can be, for example, who can be everywhere in the story, who knows everything about the characters. And here we are told immediately that about Ivan Dimitrich as being a nice man or a comfortable man. And it tells us, as you can see here, who lived with his family on an income of 1,200 a year and was very well satisfied. This is really the key word here. Satisfied with his lot. Satisfied with his lot. سعيدا بحظه صحيح سعيدا بقسمته يعني ماذا قسم الله له. This is the idea. Satisfied with his lot, which means he does not buy the lottery tickets. He doesn't care about the lottery. His wife is the one who bought the lottery. So here we say that his wife really made him, if you like, think about the lottery, because you can see here, sat down on the sofa after supper and began reading the newspaper. So this passage tells us here we have a very happy man, really a very nice man. So here we see the last sentence at the end of the story here, the last sentence, the man is going out of the house, very angry, and he said, I want to go and hang myself. For God's sake, what's wrong? As you can see, at the very beginning of the story, he is very happy, notice, satisfied with his lot. And, you know, he had his supper, he's very happy with his supper, and he has no complaints. And his wife is the terrible one, because, I don't mean terrible, but I will tell you why. She believes in the lottery, and she bought the lottery, and the lottery ticket is hers. So she's saying to her husband, hey, look if I have, you know, won or not. And you can see here the husband looked, yes, it is, said Ivan Dimitrich, but hasn't your ticket lapsed? Notice you're saying to her, but you have bought your ticket maybe weeks ago. Hasn't it, you know, lapsed? Means, is it still valid or is it not dead? And he said, what's the number? And she said, no, I took the interest on Tuesday. What is the number? And she told him, series 9499, number 26. So this is the full number. Series 9499 and number 26. And now the husband, in a very decent way, he said, okay, all right, we will look. 9499 and 26. 9499 and 26. So he was looking into the list to see her number. Notice, Ivan Dimitrich had no faith in lottery luck. You see, this is it. He doesn't believe in the lottery and would not, as a rule, have consented to look at the lists of winning numbers. He doesn't care about that. And he would never read the numbers because he doesn't buy them and he doesn't care about them. But now, as he had nothing else to do, and as the newspaper was before him or his eyes, he passed his fingers downwards along the column of numbers, and immediately, as though figures 499, 9499, you know, immediately he found the number. Unable to believe his eyes, he hurriedly dropped his paper or the paper on his knees without looking to see the number of the ticket. And just as though someone had given him a douche of cold water, he felt an agreeable chill in the pit of his stomach. Oh, did I lose connection? Oh, somebody is coming in. Okay.
No, you're still here.
Yeah, good, because I thought I lost connection. Good. Yeah. Right. So as you can see, really he's, as I said, he's very happy. He doesn't believe in papers, in the lottery, and he wouldn't have read anything to do with the news, with the winning ticket numbers. But immediately when he saw the number, he couldn't believe himself. You know, he was really shocked, and you can see the narrator is really elaborating to say he was absolutely, you know, surprised and shocked when you say a douche of cold water. You know, he felt an agreeable chill in the pit of his stomach, right? Tingling and terrible and sweet. Notice the combination here, tingling and terrible and sweet. You know, he had terrible mixture to say, well, my wife has won, my God, she will not give me any money. So that's why he's saying about the terrible and the sweetness and the tingling feeling, as if to say he couldn't believe it. And he said, Masha, 9499 is there. He said in a hollow voice, you know, he was very surprised. Masha, 9499 is there. His wife looked at him, at his astonished and panic-stricken face, and realized that he was not joking. 9499, she asked, turning pale and dropping the folded tablecloth on the table. Again, herself was, notice here, turning pale, meaning she was absolutely surprised. Did I win? My God. Yes, yes, it's really is there. And the number of the ticket? You know, his wife wanted to see the other number because, you know, as you see, the number is, you know, two sides you can see, 499 and then 26. And of course, she asked him, what about the other number? Oh, yes, there is the number of the ticket too. But stay, wait. No, stay. I say, anyway, the number of our series is there. Anyway, you understand? So here our friend started to dream, right? He was absolutely shocked and amazed. He was saying, yeah, the number is there, but don't worry, let's see. I don't want to see it now, let me tell you something, you know? So from now on, we see him daydreaming, isn't it? As you shall see. But because officially, really, oh, am I sharing with you? Do you want me to share with you?
No, doctor, you are not present.
I know. Do you want me to share? You have your text with you.
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have.
Okay, good. So I'm reading every line, so really I don't need to share. No problem. Okay. So because again, as you know, because I don't want to lose connection as usual. Right. So here you can see, in this sense here, we see the excitedness and the crazy attitude that the husband felt, because the husband here is the one who is daydreaming more than the wife. And here she is logically saying to him, come on, look at the number. And he said, no. There is the number. The number is there. But of course, he didn't see it. Looking at his wife, Ivan Dimitrich gave a broad, senseless smile. What? Why senseless? Girls.
Because he was shocked?
Yeah, but why senseless? Meaning, is he happy that his wife is going to win, or is he not?
When I read this part, I think he is careless.
He is?
No. When I read this part, I think he don't care. So he's careless.
Oh, careless.
He's not excited.
He's jealous of her.
Yeah, absolutely. He is jealous, not careless. Because here, when he say senseless smile, as if he was shocked to death. And when you smile without senses, it's like being you are dead. He is absolutely jealous for one reason. He's thinking that his wife will not give him money. Doesn't mean he wants to take the money for himself, you know? And really from here we see the narrator saying he has senseless smile, like a baby when a bright object is shown it. His wife smiled too. And I think here there's a difference between the wife's smile, because the wife is smiling because she's very happy that she has won all this money. But his smile is really mixed with jealousy, with anger, in case she does not give him money. Okay? And I think this is the idea here. His wife smiled too. It was as pleasant to her as to him that he only mentioned the series and did not try to find out the number of the winning ticket. Ahem, ahem, ahem. So here the narrator is saying, well. Now they think they have won. And even now the wife is happy that he didn't see the full number. So he's saying, let's think, let's live the moment that we have won this money. Let's live this moment now. Let's imagine ourselves that we have won. And that's the narrator is saying here, that she wants to live this moment that they have won. And that's why here the narrator is saying, it was as pleasant to her as to him that he only mentioned the series and did not try to find out the number of the winning ticket. To torment and tantalize oneself with hopes of possible fortunes is so sweet, so thrilling. Well, again, this is really funny, isn't it? You know the word tantalize? To torment and tantalize oneself. You know the word in Arabic?
يعذب.
يعذب, torment. يعذب, torment. But tantalize?
Tease. Tease.
Tease. The word in Arabic, what is it?
عذب.
يغيظ.
No.
Torture.
No, in Arabic I say.
يغيظ.
يغيظ. يغيظ.
No, not يغيظ. No. That's why I'm saying in Arabic, because I want you to know the word. Because this is not إغاظة here. Really, it's not إغاظة.
استحقار.
No, we say دغدغة عواطفي. دغدغة. الدغدغة. Do you know the word?
سبحان الله.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. Tantalize is دغدغة. Really, it's the same teasing. You know, teasing is the same thing. It's a mixture of love and you know, anger and maybe torture and maybe all of this. When you, as we say, يدغدغ, الشيء means to really give the impression that you know, you are doing something really good and excellent and so on. Yeah, did I lose connection? No, I'm fine. Yeah. So notice here he's saying, and I think this is really funny, and this is the narrator saying, summarizing this family here: to torment and tantalize oneself with hopes of possible fortune is so sweet, so thrilling. The narrator is giving us here really the idea of the meaning of daydreaming, and this is tantalizing and tormenting yourself and really wishing and hoping and hoping and hoping. He's saying to live in hopes is a good thing sometimes. To live in hopes is good sometimes. But you see, sometimes when you are shocked that your hopes are not good, are dashed, are completely dashed and thrown away, you get really angry. But you see, the moment you live in hopes, you say, yes, I'm doing it. Yes, I'm doing this. Yes, I'm getting it. Yes, I'm getting it. And you live for half an hour saying, yes, I got it. Huh? And this really hoping, this is daydreaming. And he said, to live in this moment is good. He said, it's so sweet. And he said, thrilling, gives you really passion and real satisfaction. And really, this is the main theme of the story. Now, again, to go back to you, ladies and gentlemen, if I ask you in the exam, if I give you this passage in the exam, I say, comment on this passage, right? So really here you have to tell me everything about the two characters.
What passage?
Looking at his wife. I was reading it just now, come on. Looking at his wife, Ivan Dmitrich gave a broad, senseless smile, like a baby when a bright object is shown it. His wife smiled too. This one, I read it just now. You got it?
Yes.
Now, if I ask you in the exam, I will ask you, for example, this whole, all this 4 lines, right? Or 3 lines and a half. And you have to tell me that first you have to say, well, this is a quotation. You say this quotation is quoted or is taken from the short story called The Lottery Ticket by the great Russian writer, novelist, and short story writer and dramatist, you know, what's his name? Anton Chekhov, right? And then you say the narrator here, this passage is spoken directly by the narrator, the third person narrator, spoken to us readers and to explain to us the main theme in this story, and also to elaborate and explain the idea in relation to Ivan, the main character, and his wife, Masha. This passage really reveals to us the entire meanings and implications of what we call daydreaming, because the narrator is suggesting here the idea that it's okay and nice to live for a short time, you know, in a period of time in hope, and to be, even if your hopes will be dashed later on, then it's okay, no problem. And he's saying it's okay to torment yourself. It's okay to tantalize yourself. It's okay, but only for a short time, not to kill yourself too also, because at the end of the day, that's the meaning. At the end of the day, the story really changed the whole thing, because the man really, at the end of the day, he was absolutely disastrous to have said so many things about his wife. But here we can see this passage reveals for us, or foreshadows, you can say, foreshadow, you know, what's going to happen at the end of the story. And then you go on like that. This is what I mean by commentary and by, you know, discussing and analyzing a passage. Okay?
Now it makes sense.
Sorry?
It makes sense now.
Now it makes sense. Yeah, good. Don't worry. I will never let you down. I will always explain things for you, and you will be fine, absolutely fine. You can ask me anytime, anything, and I will explain it, no problem. Now, notice here again.
So it's like like the introduction of the analytical writing.
Yeah, of course. Yes. And notice what Ivan said. It is our series, said Ivan Dimitrich after a long silence. So there is a probability that we have won. It's only a probability, but there it is. You see, now Ivan is, as you can see, you know, I say Ivan, some English people say Ivan, and some American people say Ivan, but I say it in the Russian way, because this is how the Russian name, they use it. The pronunciation of the name. As I said, English and American, they say Ivan. Anyway, notice here the man, I said Ivan Dimitrich really is saying, you know, he came back to say, well, it is probable that you are going to win. And he said, it's only probability, you know? And he said, and his wife said, well, now look. Of course, you can see here that the wife is more sensible than him. She said to him, but okay, come on, look at the number. And he said, wait a little. We have plenty of time to be disappointed. What is he saying here? Why disappointed? As if he knew? Well, he doesn't know. Really, he doesn't know the number. But he's saying, maybe we will be disappointed. And he immediately assumed that they are going to be disappointed. But he's saying, let's think that we have won. You know, and that's why, I mean, the idea of daydreaming. He deliberately, you know, he deliberately wants to see the meaning of winning, you know. And he said, it's on the second line from the top. So the prize is 75,000. That's not money, but power, capital. And in a minute, I shall look at the list, and there, 26, I say, what if we really have won? And look at this, what he said. What he means here. So the price is 75,000. That's not money, but power, capital. What does it mean? My boys and girls. Bashir, Saeed, Ikhlas, Marwa.
Maybe he shocked from the amount of the fortune, so he say that, or he give himself more hope or something like that.
Yeah, Marwa, you were speaking, Marwa?
Yes, because maybe he was a poor man, so he sees that money as a lot of money.
Exactly. And notice here, yeah, Hamza?
Doctor, I think he thought that by getting money, he thinks that he will be respected from the society he lives in. When he said power.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. But really, he means, remember, you think, many people who think with money, you know, people with money, they think that they are powerful because of their money. And really, that's sometimes, it's true sometimes. When you have a lot of money, you think yourself you are powerful because you can do a lot of things with your money, whether good things or even bad things. And really, he says that's power. And even he says capital, you know, he's absolutely, remember, they are a poor family. You know, he said 1,200 rubles a year, which is nothing, really. Because the end, you know, at the end of the day, he said 75,000, you know, he said 75,000. So he said, this is absolutely, you know, amazing. He said, this is not only money, you know, he said, it's power and it's capitalism, you know. And of course, he is going back again to the idea of daydreaming. He said, well, maybe we can see the number in a minute, but let's think. Let's imagine, he said, what if we really have won? Yeah. Now the question I will ask you, Hamza, and the people who, Basmala, if you have won now 100,000 or 50,000 riyals, you know, Omani riyals, what would you do with this money?
I cannot imagine. But maybe I will buy a car.
You will buy a car, very good. Oh, somebody
no more
said,
classes.
Maybe I will dominate.
Yeah, people say, Fayyad said, I will quit the SQU. My God. Saeed?
Yes, doctor.
Travel.
50,000 riyals.
I will build a house, and yes, and get married.
Very good, good man. Good man.
I'll do a small business with the rest of the money.
Good man. Yes, good man. Yes.
There is no money left. If he married,
Well,
he will.
and if he's married, he'll marry another one. Yes. Good man. لا عيب في الحلال. Now, the idea really here, you know, Anfal said, Anfal said, I would die from happiness. Well,
No one
really,
thought
this
to
is
donate.
amazing. Sorry, you want to donate? Ikhlas.
No one
you want to
thought
donate?
donate, I say.
Oh, no
I
one
said
thought
it.
to donate. Oh, I see.
thought.
I see. Oh, look at this, Fatima.
They
I
have
like what she
envy
said.
for wealth.
Fatima, I think she said it in a nice way for all of you women, for all of you girls. She said, shopping, shopping, shopping. This is lovely. And I think this means a lot. You know, it's amazing. Now, really, this is the idea. And here he's asking his wife, what do you think if we have won this money? Well, what? I don't know. Fayyad said something. I can't really understand it. But anyway, maybe you will read it yourself and you know what it means. But anyway, really, it's a very funny thing. You know, yeah, I think Basmala said, "Get your head out of the clouds." Yeah, well. Yes, absolutely. Now, really, that's why I'm saying to you, daydreaming, because the story, he's saying, let's think. Let's dream about what's going to happen if we have won. You know, he's saying, what if we really have won? And notice the narrator, the husband and wife began laughing and staring at one another in silence. Really, it's funny. Honestly, it's funny. I think maybe one day we should act this on stage. Maybe when after Corona, I will ask you to act it as a play. Really, it's an amazing scene. Notice they were looking at each other and gaping and laughing and staring. The possibility of winning bewildered them. They couldn't have said, couldn't have dreamed what they both needed that 75,000 for, what they would buy, where they would go. They thought only of the figures 9,499 and 70,000, you know, as you can see, and pictured them in their imagination, while somehow they could not think of the happiness itself, which was so possible. So notice really the narrator is laughing and mocking them, you know, about the possibility of winning and all this question. And now they are only thinking about this money and about this number, and they are not thinking about anything else, you know, whether they really need this money or not. Ivan Dmitrich, holding the paper in his hand, walked several times from corner to corner, and only when he had recovered from the first impression began dreaming a little. You see, this is it. The narrator started to say to us, dreaming. So it's daydreaming. And now look what look what the narrator said. And if we have won, he said, why, it will be a new life. It will be a transformation. The ticket is yours. But if it were mine, I should, first of all, of course, spend 25,000 on real property in the shape of an estate, 10,000 on immediate expenses, new furnishing, traveling, paying debts, and so on. The other 40,000 I would put in the bank and get interest on it. Wow, I think sensible man. Yes, absolutely. He has a lot of things to do, and he said, I will do that. And his wife said, yes, an estate, that would be nice, said his wife, sitting down and dropping her hands in her lap. Somewhere in the Tula or royal provinces. And now they are imagining where they are going to buy this house. And again, as I say, this is really the funny daydreaming. It's really funny. And he said, in the first place, we shouldn't need a summer villa, and besides, it would always bring in an income. Again, the narrator really is laughing at them again, and pictures came crawling in his imagination, each more gracious and poetical than the last. And all these pictures, he saw himself well-fed, serene, healthy, felt warm, even hot. Here, after eating a summer soup, cold as ice, he lay on his back on the burning sand close to the stream, or in the garden under a lime tree. It's hot. his little boy and girl are crawling about near him, digging in the sand or catching ladybirds in the grass. He dozes sweetly, thinking of nothing, and feeling all over that he need not go to the office today, tomorrow, or the day after. Or tired of lying still, he goes to the hayfield or to the forest for mushrooms and so on. Look at so many imaginations he's thinking. You know, as an absolutely happy man with a lot of money and spending a lot of things. He has nothing to do, absolutely free. You know, he has a lot of money and he will not do anything. He will only go around, as you can see, going into his own big house and big villa in the countryside, and, you know, imagining his children with him. Everybody is happy, sleeping and drinking and whatever. You know, it's a very absolutely imagined, as Basmala said, you know, flying with the clouds, really. And the wife said, yes, it would be nice to buy an estate, said his wife. Also dreaming, and for her, and and from her face, it was evident that she was thoughts. So again, notice, you know, the daydreaming, how much Ivan and his wife started to dream. And now Ivan started to really get absolutely overridden. You know, he was overridden by his feelings, and he was nearly sick about this idea. Notice, Ivan Dimitrich pictured himself autumn with its rains, its cold evenings, and it's St. Martin's summer. At that reason, he would have to take longer walks about the garden and beside the river, so as to get thoroughly chilled, and then drink a big glass of vodka and eat a salted mushroom or a soused cucumber, and then drink another. The children would come running from the kitchen garden, bringing a carrot and a radish smelling of fresh earth, and so on. You can see here again and again, imagining absolutely like in paradise, living in a paradisal situation. The St. Martin's summer is followed by cloudy, gloomy weather. It rains day and night. The bare trees weep. The wind is damp and cold. The fogs, the horses, the fowls, all are wet, depressed, downcast. There is nowhere to walk. Now here he is comparing his dreams to his own place. Notice he said gloomy and dark, always raining, night, again bare trees, and the wind damp and cold. Dogs and horses and fowls are all wet, again depressed and downcast. Again he said nowhere to walk. You can't go out for days together. One has no space. One has to pace up and down in this room, looking despondently on the gray window. It is dreary. Notice this paragraph is a huge contrast. The absolute negativity of this paragraph in contrast to the absolute imagination or positive imagination. This paragraph, St. Martin, is the reality. The two paragraphs before it is the dreaming. And really, this is the idea I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, about daydreaming. And it's amazing, really lovely, absolutely lovely picture here. You can see the amount of dreams that he has, and he's really, as I said, he's getting, as I said, psychologically worked up and psychologically really uneasy. Ivan Dimitrich stopped and looked at his wife. I should go abroad, you know. You know, immediately he's fighting now, shouting at his wife. I should go abroad, you know, Masha. Really? MashaAllah alayk, Rijal, huh? You understand? Now he wants to go abroad. Well, the idea now really, he wants to show Oh, I think we have a lot of comments. Anyway, we'll look at them later. But really, the idea here is amazing. Now he's getting really, step by step, he's getting really ugly. And he began thinking how nice it would be in late autumn to go abroad somewhere to the south of France, to Italy, to India. I should certainly go abroad too, his wife said. But look at the number of the ticket. She said, okay, you go abroad, we will go abroad. Yes, we will travel, but look at the number. Come on, you crazy man, look at the number. And he said, wait. Yeah, of course, absolutely. Yes, his wife is more realistic. And as I say, the daydreaming is the job of the man. And really, this man, that's why at the end he was absolutely devastated and he wanted to kill himself. Notice, she said to him, he said, wait. He walked about the room and went on thinking. It occurred to him, what if his wife really did go abroad? It's pleasant to travel alone or in the society of careless women who live in the present, and not such to think as think and talk all the journey about nothing but their children, sigh and tremble with dismay over every farthing. Ivan Dmitrich imagined his wife in the train with a multitude of parcels, baskets and bags. She would be sighing over something, complaining that the train made her head ache, that she had spent too much money or so much money. As he stations, he would continually be having to run for boiling water, bread and butter. She would have dinner because of its, she wouldn't have dinner because of its being too dear. Look at this. I don't know, really, we men are not like that, we are not really mean. I don't know. He's saying here that his wife, he does not want to take his wife with him. He wants to travel alone. He said, why should I go abroad to India or Italy and take my wife with me? I don't want her because she will give me always trouble. She will have all the children with her and she will only be moaning and she will always be nagging and she will do nothing but give me trouble. And he said, she will be always talking about spending the money and wasting the money and sighing and trembling and so on and so forth. And he said, why should I take her with me? I don't want her. And again, he said, she would be having parcels because they are having children with them, baskets, notice, parcels, baskets, bags, and moaning and complaining and so on. So he started to say, again, she's going to complain about spending the money because the money is hers. And he said, I don't want her to be with me. What a terrible man. Notice what he said. Again, he went on. She would begrudge me every farthing. Means she will not give me any money. If I spend any money, she will be very angry with me. That's the idea, begrudge. To grudge means to feel really angry if you spend money, or if you don't want to waste money, or you're thinking any money that you spend, you think it's wasted. And this is grudging and begrudging. She said, if I spend any farthing, which means like a penny, like 1 penny or a little, let's say, pieces or 100 pieces, she will be very angry, he said. He thought with a glance at his wife, the lottery ticket is hers, not mine. Besides, what is the use of her going abroad? What does she want there? She would shut herself up in the hotel and not let me out of her sight. I know. So he said, why should I take her with me? She will go into the hotel and she will shut me in the door indoors and I will not be able to go out on my own. And I want to go out on my own. Oh, a poor man, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think he's poor. I think I'm saying he's, you know, for some reason, if you want, you can defend him if you want. But you see here, he's giving a lot of things. He's saying, but the money is hers, you know. Notice, and for the first time in his life, his mind dwelt on the fact that his wife had grown elderly and plain, and that she was saturated through and through with the smell of cooking, while he was still young, fresh, and healthy, and might well have got married again. Ahem, ahem. Ahem, ahem. Isn't it? Boys? Boys? My boys?
Yes,
Yes,
doctor.
doctor.
He said, you know, he's looking at your wife. He said, oh, you smell onion and you smell cooking. You terrible. You look ugly. I don't like you. I should marry another wife. Now he sees her as smelling food and smelling in the kitchen and smelling onion and garlic and the cooking. And now he looks at her, he's saying, look at her, she's ugly. Look at her, she's plain. Look at her, she's old. And look at me, I'm young. I think I should get married. Why not? Now I have a lot of money. I will get married. Wow.
That's happened in reality, unfortunately.
He's getting greedy.
Sorry?
He's getting greedy.
Absolutely, he's getting crazy. Yes. Ya nakir al-ma'ruf. Yes. Salma said, Ya nakir al-ma'ruf. Yes, I agree with you, Ya Salma. Ya Salma. Salma or Salma? Yeah, I think I agree with you. Really, men who are like that, they are terrible. And now, mashallah alayh, now he's, you know, she smells ugly. You know, he is terrible. So that's the idea, really. The narrator, as you can see, is focusing on his crazy ideas. He said, look at him. He said, his mind dwelt on the fact that his wife had grown elderly and plain, meaning she looks really, you know, as a very normal wife. And notice here, saturated through and through. Hamza, can you translate this saturated through and through into good Arabic? Through and through. Saturated through and through with the smell of cooking. I'll give you 5 marks for anybody who translates this into good Arabic.
Could you repeat, please?
You can see it saturated here. As for the first time in his life, his mind dwelt on the fact that his wife had grown elderly and plain, and that she was saturated through and through with the smell of cooking. What is saturated through and through with the smell of cooking? 5 marks for good translation, for good Arabic translation. Yeah, somebody said معشعشة فيها ريحة المطبخ. I like this, but not معشعشة. I like the word really. Wallahi, to be honest with you, ya Ahlam, I like the word.
متشبعة.
متشبعة.
مليئة. Full.
Full. But you know the word somebody said what متشبع إيش طابقة or طاقة مشبعة
بالكامل.
بالكامل. Yeah, really we have a good word in Arabic. I want you to say really
متغلغلة.
متغلغلة
مليئة مليئة
وتعبق فيها. I think somebody said وتعبق
تطلع
منها
منها.
نور. نور here is poetical. وتعبق منها طول الوقت روائح الطبخ. يا عين يا عين. Yes, but really yeah, amazing, really amazing. تكدست فيها مسكينة. Yeah, really the word I want you to say is, you know, the word through and through. من رأسها لأخمص قدميها. من رأسها لأخمص قدميها مشبعة برائحة الطبخ. Through and through, يعني من فوق لتحت. That's why he said through and through, isn't it? I mean, I like the word. Maybe, you know, in translation, I mean, your translation is good, but not what I want you really. Nobody said من أعلى رأسها لأخمص قدميها. Yes. Yeah, really, it's amazing, isn't it? I think this is really funny, and the story really here is mocking the man in every sense. Now you know that you want to get married. You are a terrible man. Now you and look at this, boys. He's marrying with her money. How wicked he is. Basmala. He's wicked, isn't he? He's taking her money and getting married.
Is he money?
Yeah, I said that. He's dreaming and he didn't get the money.
Yeah,
I
and
thought
it's
the
not his money, it's her money.
Yes.
يخرب بيته العمش, isn't it? Wish had. Come on, man. Really, it's amazing, isn't it? So really, it's really funny here. And notice he said, of course, all that silly nonsense. You see, now he's coming back again to say, oh, this is nonsense. What am I thinking? He thought, but why should she go abroad? Again, he's asking himself more questions. And yet she would go, of course. I can fancy. In reality, it is all one to her. Whether it's Naples or Clinton, she will only be in my way. I should be dependent upon her. I can fancy now like a regular... Sorry?
Is he jealous maybe?
Absolutely. Yeah. Jealous, yes. And angry that she's going to win the money. You know? And he said, she will be on my way. she would only be in my way. بعدي من طريقي يا حرمة. أبعدي من طريقي يا حرمة. الله أكبر. Come on, man.
But she didn't say that she is not going to give him the money.
I know, but that's his mind, his crazy mind, his stupid mind, his filthy mind, isn't it? His sick mind, isn't it? Notice,
Yes.
I should be dependent upon her. In we say ya wayli ya shahari ana. I will be depending on her. I can fancy like a regular woman, she will lock the money up, and soon she gets it. She will look after her relations and grudge me every farthing. Means she will lock the money and she will not give me any money, and she will give the money to her relatives, not to me. Come on, wives. Come on, wives. Do you give your money to your relatives? Not really. You can sometimes. No problem. Ivan Dimitrich thought of her relations. Now he's thinking of her relations. All those wretched brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles would come crawling about as soon as they heard of the winning ticket, would begin whining and like beggars and fawning upon them with oily, hypocritical smiles. Amazing description. Oily? Look at this. Oily, hypocritical smiles. I think this is a really funny translation if you want. I don't know. Have you ever heard of ضحكا مزيتة? I don't know how. بسمة ابتسامة مزيتة? I don't know how. Do you understand? Oily? What does it mean? Fawning upon them with oily, hypocritical smiles. You know, like when he said here really means absolutely, because he said it hypocritical. And look how he describes her relations in very negative images, you know, very negative, as being very bad, and they will crawl and they will beg and they are vulgar.
Mischievously, maybe?
Sorry?
Mischievously.
Absolutely, yes. Mischievously, yes. Meaning they
This
are
is describing his smile, that his smile oily, mischievously.
Yes, absolutely. You know, that is, her relatives would be smiling to her to give her money. As if, you know, when you want to beg someone, they'll smile to you, and the smile is not real, you know? And that's what he said. Her relatives are terrible, like beggars. And, you know, this is really terrible. And he said, wretched, detestable people. You know, he really hates them. Look at what he said. Wretched people, detestable people. If they were given anything, they would ask for more. While if they were refused, they would swear at them, slander them, and wish them every kind of misfortune. I think Ivan Dimitrich is getting really crazy here. That's why at the end of the story, he said he's going to kill himself. Ivan Dimitrich remembered his own relations and their faces, at which he had looked impartially in the past, struck him now as repulsive and hateful. So now he hates everybody's face, his own relations' faces and his wife's relations' faces. You know, he's saying they are all ugly. They are all hypocrites. They will come to us and they will beg our money and they will take our money. And I think I will stop here. I will continue that next time. It's only, I have only few things to finish, but I will finish it with you next time, and I will let you discuss it. We will discuss it. We'll give it more discussion if you like, because really it's an amazing story. It has a lot of things. The meanings of psychology here, really the question of psychoanalysis. This story is really about a very good example of psychoanalysis. And this question of psychoanalytical criticism, I will talk about this next time with you when I come back. We'll come back next time. Any question?
Yes, doctor, about the test.
About the test, yes.
So والله ما فاهم شيء.